All right, I'm live. I'm Mike Caton from acemethodcoaching, and this is the 49th of these live streams I've done. Just so you know what it is I have a business at acemethodcoaching.com where I help hurdlers and coaches get better. I have training programs, I have instructional videos, things like that. I do a lot of people hire me to send me videos and for me to analyze them and give them information back, feedback, improvements. Also, live Zoom sessions. And I know I'm forgetting something big, but anyway, I get a lot of free requests and I try to help people out by doing this. So that's what this is I'm taking 5 videos this week, and I'm going to do them for free, and I'm going to put them on here just so everybody can learn from it. Also just knocks it all down in 1 hour, so it makes it very helpful. But some things I want to mention before I get started, because there's a lot happening at Ace Method Coaching these days, because the spring season is getting ready to start up in most high schools. Some have already started, some start in a matter of weeks, but most of them start this week. And one of the things that I'm doing is on Monday, which is President's Day, which most of you are off school, if not all of you in the U.S., I am hosting a live webinar on Zoom. It's primarily for coaches, but if you're an athlete and you want to learn how you can make your season better, if you have control over it, you can join that as well. Anyway, I don't know if I mentioned it's free. It's Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can go to my website. In fact, let me pull that up and show you. What that looks like. Okay, so here's my website. I put this button, says Hurdle Coaching Success Free Webinar. And if you click on it, it takes you to this page, tells you all the details, what I'm going to be talking about, some testimonials, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, you can sign up for it. It's free. You'll get the information and the Zoom address for that. Also, on Monday is if you're a coach, or actually, again, if you're anyone who has purchased my hurdle training plan, which, by the way, is a season-long workout. So it's all the workouts you need, 3 days, 3 sessions a week, from beginning to the end of the season, to get better and peak at the end of the season and do really well, like so many of the great hurdlers that I've coached over the years. It's really a major document, but along with that comes the opportunity or the invitation to be involved in my weekly Zoom meeting, where you can come on and ask me questions, and it's like a question and answer thing. Again, mostly designed for coaches, because that's who, frankly, buys things from me. But if you're one of these smart hurdlers out there and you buy this training plan, you would have access to that as well. If I end up getting a lot of athletes or enough athletes, I'll separate them into 2 different meetings. That way I could speak more to athletes than coaches. But right now it's like 99% coaches. So that's the way that's going to be for now. Also, I want to show you real quick. I've got a new video. How did that happen? I've got a new video coming out tomorrow. If you've been watching my videos, the last several weeks I did one here where I coached a high school senior who's really good, how to get better. And then the last 2 weeks I've done with this 12-year-old beginner where I'm showing her how to hurdle. Tomorrow I put out the 3rd episode of, it's going to be a 5 video series, and tomorrow's the 3rd of 5. So please check that out, watch it, comment, share it, It really helps me do better on YouTube. And let's see here. And just to plant a seed for anybody who's interested, I am in the early stages of talking about having some clinics this summer for anybody who wants to come and learn from me live with some other hurdlers. It'll be really awesome to just level up your hurdling. Don't have any details. The only details I could tell you is that it's going to be this summer, maybe in June, and in Indianapolis. So if you're anywhere drivable within that and you want to know more about it, reach out to me, acemethodcoaching@gmail.com, and I'll give you some more information. Okay, so I'm going to jump into analyzing these videos. Excuse me. Okay, let me tell you who I've got today. I've got 5 people. 3 of them are high schoolers. One of them, I'm not exactly sure. I just know that he's post-high school. And another one that I'm saving for the end, who is a first-year collegiate, who's really fantastic. So I saved her for the end. But I'm going to see, and there's a couple of you, I apologize if your names, I get them wrong. Fajr, it was a nickname for a longer name, Fajr. Anyway, he's first. Then another one, Nkeoma, Nleoma, who is a high school junior. And then Kendice, and then Daniel, and then I'm saving Natalia for last, just because she's so darn exciting. I don't want to make everybody feel bad after seeing her. Anyway, so looking at this first one. So here's what I know. I'm going to call you Fajr, 10th grader, second year hurdling. Can do 3 steps at the beginning. A lot of you can relate to this, I'm sure, where you can do 3 steps at the beginning and then you struggle with 3 steps because your speed is decreasing. So if that's you, it's really because you are losing speed somewhere in the process, so it gets harder and harder and harder. So you have to figure out what are those things that you can do to stop losing speed. And it's usually coming up to the hurdle where you start to put on the brakes, jumping too high over the hurdle, which takes too long, and then getting off balance. And then it's running between the hurdles with big long steps landing on your heels. They're all braking actions. All those things are going to count against your speed and makes it harder and harder and harder. So if you could start fixing those things, you'll maintain your speed and you can 3-step to the next hurdle, no problem. So here's what I have for Fajr. Okay. So I don't know what distance this is, but here's what I can tell you, is you are running on your heels, certainly, okay, watch this, flat-footed, flat-footed. You want to get on the balls of your feet underneath you. And then here we go with step 7 on your heels in front of you, step 8, big time on the heels in front of you, and I could see that you actually slow down and put on the brakes. See how your leg went down? See how your body right here? Watch. See how you take this step and then you sink down? Watch, your body goes down. And then you take a big step to go up. That is all slowing you down because frankly you're a little afraid to go over the hurdle full speed, so you want to get yourself under control. And then you are too close to the hurdle, and I can see your leg lifting with you never bent your knee enough, so you're lifting sort of a straight leg over from the side, and it's giving you big lift, and you are crossing your arm across your body too much, and then it has to overcorrect by swinging too far counterclockwise, and so your whole body is now off balance. See how you're ready to fall over to the right side? And then heel, Big time on the heels. Big time on the heels. All these are braking actions. And then jumping up with a straight leg. Straight leg is a slow leg. You want to get your heel underneath your butt, drive your knee to the top of the hurdle, and then extend your foot, unfurl your leg right over the top of the hurdle. That helps keep your momentum forward, which keeps your speed. And again, crossing your arm over your body, getting your shoulders twisted up clockwise. But part of it is because this is having to counter this leg. See, left arm, right leg. So you got to work on that. Lead leg, lead arm. Those are your main things. And then see the landing. That's because of you having to come out of untwisting. Like you'll twist your body clockwise, upper body, then you got to untwist it counterclockwise, and you end up over rotating, over recovering, because you're just the way it all worked out. So that's what's killing you. So what I would do is I would kind of back away a little more to the basics, lower the hurdle a little bit, pinch them in, and then learn how to do it properly with better technique, going at the hurdle, running on the balls of your feet. And then when you get that, gradually you can spread out the hurdles to a spacing that's going to work for you. And then you can learn how to do it without all the braking action, and you'll eventually get it. Trust me, if you keep doing it this way, you're just going to keep reinforcing bad habits and the improper way of hurdling. If I were coaching you, I'd say, let's back away. You're not going to race until you're ready. Let's learn how to do it right and then rebuild from there. That's what I would do. You might want to definitely consider my hurdling 101 and 201. Be good for you. Okay, moving on to Nleoma. Now, also, folks, these are quick. These are quick things. When a person hires me to do a video review, what we call a virtual coaching session, I spend a whole lot more time in detail over what they're doing, just so you'll know. Okay, so I like how you run fast toward, let's play you at full speed. This isn't the most ideal video. By the way, there's some people who sent me videos this week who would have been great videos, but for some reason, my computer just didn't want to play them. They just weren't working well, so I had to pass on them. So sorry about that. But let me play this one full speed so you get a feel for her aggressiveness, which I really like. Okay, so heels. Okay, so braking action, okay? You got to keep your feet underneath you, landing on the balls of your feet. And then, oh, by the way, Nleoma is 11th grade, second year hurdling, wants to know how to be quicker between the hurdles. Part of it is by not losing the speed going into the hurdle, okay? Get your feet underneath you, go flat and low over that hurdle. This isn't bad. This isn't bad right here. You took off, I think, from a good distance away. It's not ideal camera angle, so I can't tell for sure, but it looks pretty good. And you didn't go very high. I like the way your lead leg looks. And you overall maintained, for a high schooler, a really flat arc or curve over the hurdle, so good job. This here is sitting back a little bit farther than I would like you to be coming off the hurdle. Again, I'm not seeing you from the side, so I can't say for sure. But at this point right here, where you are on this toe, this knee should be hard driving to the next hurdle. So your knee should still be higher, foot behind your knee, and look like charging. But you are reaching out with every step well out in front of your center of gravity, putting on the brakes big time. All of those are slowing you down, but that looks not bad. Now, you may be thinking, Coach, I have to do that in order to reach the next hurdle in only 3 steps. And I get it. But what you need to do is practice well so that you can race well. And by practicing like what you're doing, I can see that your hurdles are spaced at the official race spacing. So it's just too far to practice with. There's this concept that you need to learn is that when you're practicing, you don't have the adrenaline built up in your body. Plus, you've been doing multiple reps. You're fatigued. You're not as excited. And so therefore, it's harder to reach the hurdles in 3 steps. So really what you need to do is pinch them closer so that what feels like racing, and so it is work, but it's not as hard as this. And you could practice well, get your feet underneath you. Don't worry so much about reaching out for them. Practice being quicker between the hurdles. And then you'll be able to take that to the track and race it. So basically my rule of thumb is if you could be 12 to 16 inches away from the regular spacing and you could successfully 3-step with quick steps between them, you'd be able to go to a meet and race and do well. So just know that. Practicing like this just reinforces bad behavior and you'll never get to do it very quickly. Okay? I'm telling you, I've coached many big-time hurdlers, many state champions and finalists, and none of them do I let practice like this. I always pinch them in and lower them down a click. Always. Okay? Moving on to Kendice. Sorry about all the hacking. Okay, Kendice, this is going to be a quick one. I know what you're looking for. You want to know why you're still, look at this, landing so far on the other side. It's almost like a 1-to-1 ratio between the front of the hurdle and the back of the hurdle. It's because you're too close. You're too close to this hurdle. You need to back away, and you're lifting a straight leg over the hurdle, pretty much straight. You need to get your heel to your butt. Keep it there as long as you can. Drive this knee forward, and at the end right here, then you start to unfurl. And again, if you were farther away, you'd come down on the hurdle and land back here instead of here. That's your problem. Okay. Daniel. Daniel is from Ireland, under 16, so he's either 14 or 15, having an issue with 3 steps. Okay, so far I can already, if you've been similar, a lot of the people on this episode have the same issues. Heels. Get off of your heels. Get on the balls of your feet. Get them underneath you. That's how you sprint faster, okay? By the way, if I were coaching you, I would make you jump rope every day. Jump rope 2 feet, jump rope alternating legs. Get used to the sensation of striking the ground on the balls of your feet and learn what that feels like to have that springiness in your ankles, because you are running with like flat, soft ankles, okay? You want to feel that spring off the ground because your hips are a spring, your knees are a spring, your ankles are a spring, but you're losing the feeling by letting it just die in the track on your ankles. So get them underneath you. Okay, that's your main thing. Your form going into the hurdle is actually not bad. I mean, your arms are too big, too wide open for sure. But the angle you take at the hurdle is pretty good. You could be a little lower, but all young hurdlers are like that. And then your legs coming off the hurdle. This is actually really nice. This is really nice position. Really nice. But that your arms are too straight. So heels, and then keep your arms at 90 degrees. you're going to be a much different hurdler. Okay? And then you'll have more speed coming off of this hurdle, which will help you get to the next hurdle if you keep running the way I told you. It's all this chain reaction. Okay? Okay, last one. Natalia. You guys are going to like this. It's very exciting. Okay, so she's way over here, but if you can see it, she just has so much acceleration, and she is very flat over the hurdle and just comes off that hurdle very, very well. I've got another, oh, this is slow. I've got another video of her. Okay. So let me see how this one does. Okay. What I wish the camera could be more over here and hit this hurdle directly from the side. I'll tell you what, I don't usually review people more than once, but if you send me another video with a better camera angle, I'll definitely do it. I might even ask you to let me use your video for example. Okay, so look how, let me zoom in. This is for other people's education. Look how if we look at her, like her waistline, you know, as a marker, how it doesn't go up hardly at all. It's flat. Like if we were to see her from the side and draw a line, it would barely arc over the hurdle. It's really, really good. Really exciting to see. Okay. I do have some things for you though, Natalia, that I'm going to critique you, but I want to talk about the good stuff first. And then I really like this, how you come off the hurdle right here. This is a very powerful position coming off the hurdle, and your leg is underneath you. Your hips are already forward. This step here, if everybody could see, like again, if I had you from the side, it'd be better. But here she's kind of on her toe, still has her thigh parallel to the ground, knee as high as her hip, driving that forward, and then coming down on that first step with her opposite knee already caught up or in front of the lead leg. That's very elite. And then same thing here, foot steps down, she already has her other knee caught up to her. And then, another thing I wanted, God, this is so good. Sorry, you get excited about good technique. Okay, so watch her leg here. So most people stick that leg out in front of them, landing on their heels. And if they're lucky, they do that flat-footed. Or if they're really lucky, they'll do it on the ball of their foot, but it'll still be a little bit behind them, kind of jabbing into the ground, right? So it's a braking action. If they're really good, they get it with their shin perpendicular to the ground, so there's no stabbing motion. Natalia actually, like a great sprinter, has it coming backwards, so she's pushing back against the track, even on her plant step. Look at that. Backwards, bam. Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. Okay. Okay, and then look how, for those of you who I was talking about lifting with a straight leg, see where her heel is by her butt, still way back here, and then she driving her knee forward. It never goes any higher than this. She doesn't bring her knee up to her chest like a lot of hurdlers do, who frankly are being coached that way. I don't understand that at all. She's just driving her knee forward. That's as high as it goes, right here, just over the top of the hurdle. And right here, extends her foot over it. Nice and flat and low over that hurdle. Doesn't mean there's not room for a little improvement, but it's good. And then right here, touching down. She hasn't really come down yet. If I could freeze a frame somewhere between here and here, it'd be perfect. But notice right here when she's on her heel, she's already has her knee forward of her heel. Good position. And then amazing step one right here, okay? Now that I've joined your fan club, let me show you things that need to get better though. Okay, see your lead arm going across the midline of your body. And you're going to see on your other video that it's actually kind of a problem. We can't see it so well here. I like the way you shoot that trail arm forward like that. Pull your hips forward with it, coming off that hurdle running fast. Okay, so now this is a little bit difficult to see, but as you go into this hurdle, I'm seeing you more from behind. I want you to notice your right arm, how you're swinging it around. You could see it right here. And it takes your whole body crooked like this, right? And then in order to balance that out, your lead leg has to swing around a little bit from the side. You see that? And I think the other video sees it even better. So you really want to just stick that lead arm out and pull it back. Don't swing it around like that. And then same thing with that lead leg. Pull it straight through. Don't swing it around. Let me see this other video. Yeah, this is one where we get to see some good stuff. Yeah. Man, I just love your speed and aggressiveness and how flat you stay over that hurdle. Okay, so I'm going to do this again for people. This is one of the things that I do, is when I see her from right here where she's touching down here, and then from here where she touches that again, you see that her body, her chest didn't even go up. Her head didn't even go up. Her hips don't go up. She just stays flat, okay? So all that's really good. Now imagine if you fix these things. Look at this. So let's watch your right arm swinging around your body counterclockwise. You do a good job of maintaining your shoulders here, but see how you're leaning, a curve, and then how you have to bring your lead leg turned sideways. If you could shoot this arm forward, you could probably bring your lead leg through straight. Now it's possible that your lead arm is doing that in response to your lead leg. Hard to say which came first, but together, pull them both straight through. It'll be a lot faster. And then, see the way you're landing? See this angle here? And how you're leaning over to the left side like you're off balance? That's because of what you did. So watch your lead leg. It'll swing. It's right now coming from the outside, swinging around clockwise. And so if it continues swinging, you now land up over here, off because it's had to continue its clockwise swing. And then see how now right here, your shoulders are twisted. That's all because of the same thing. It's your body. You twisted into it right here, like coiled. You coiled in one direction. Now you have to uncoil right here, and that's the reason why you're twisted. Okay? Yeah, here you see it even more. See how look at this. You even come over to the left side of the track. This is all subconscious, okay? I did a virtual coaching session with a collegiate today who's doing almost the same thing, where your right foot should be over here, either in the center of the track or a little bit to the right side of the track, but you brought it over to the left. And that's because you've been doing this for a while, and that's your way of compensating for swinging this leg around the outside, because you know that if you were over here and you swung your lead leg around, you'd probably go off the track. So you're bringing yourself over to the left side, and then you're landing in the center with your opposite leg. So it shouldn't have happened that way. This looks great, but then you got your shoulders rotated again. Okay? A little bit twisted and off balance. Okay? You have so much good going on. I would love for you, I'm asking you, please send me another video that it could be directly from the side. Okay? Plus, just give me some information like where you're from. I'm wondering if this is the U.S. I'm very intrigued. So anyway, let me jump back out of here. That's it. Let me see if anybody has sent me some questions. I forgot to mention that. Good. I say good because this is kind of late in the day for me. Let me bounce back out to here. Nope. This is what I want. Okay, so again, if you see this and you want me to look at your video, go to acemethodcoaching.com, and you will see on there, I've got a couple of what I call freebies. One of them is this, where you can submit for a free hurdle technique review. And you send me your video or videos and information about you. And then each week I'm going to pick about 5 of them to put on this. But if you're somebody who's really serious and you want to make sure I do it and you want it fast, like a one-day turnaround, you should do a virtual coaching session. It's well worth it, much better than what I do on here. These are just quickies. So keep that in mind. If you're serious, it's worth the investment. You'll improve so much. You'll love it. But there's also a place where you can get what I call my hurdle technique cheat sheet, which is just this pretty in-depth spreadsheet with all the things you need to know of how to improve your technique. Those are things you can do there. But definitely you should consider my hurdle training plan, because along with, not only does it give you all the workouts that you need for a whole season, and I don't mean here's a few workouts. I mean from the beginning of the season to the end, because your workouts need to progress as you're learning more and getting faster and go from technique endurance, speed endurance to pure speed and mental game stuff, all built in to get great at the end, to advance to whatever your state calls it, sectionals, regionals, league, whatever, in order to go to state. This will help you do that. But also entitles you to go to an invitation to the weekly Zoom sessions, where you can come in and ask me questions, things like that. And if you miss them, I'll still send those to you. Plus, I've got a private web page for people who do this to see the videos, have access to me for question and answer, things like that. But all that is on acemethodcoaching.com. But if you want me to review your video, again, the best way through a virtual session or through here. Roll the dice. Hope that I choose you that week. That's it. I hope everybody has a good week, and good luck at the beginning of your seasons. If you haven't already seen it, I recommend watching my hurdle preseason and my preseason track training. Even though the season has already started, it kind of gives you an idea about the fact that you don't do too much too soon. Don't start on Tuesday and say, oh my gosh, I've got to meet in 9 days. I'm not ready. I can't reach the hurdles in 3 steps. That's the worst thing you can do. And you're going to get hurt and frustrated, and you're going to develop some bad habits. Take your time, build into it, Do it properly. Don't rush it. So what if you're not ready to race in the first meet or the second meet? Those meets don't mean anything. Don't race until you're ready. Okay? Do it right. Stay safe. You'll have a much better season. Okay? Keep that in mind. That's it. If you have any questions, acemethodcoaching@gmail.com. That's it. Coach Ace out.